A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
High noon and welcome in. This is the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. All that candy's got me feeling a little bit away.
Right.
That's right. Candy corn right in the throat. Bucks huge win. Packers this weekend. Badgers, thank God, are not playing. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, what's up? Happy Halloween. I love what you're rocking right there. I mean, I was actually hoping you would wear your the old costume. Like, weren't you? You were the mascot. Is that the mascot?
This is the one from, here, let me see if we can get the back.
Oh, yes. Look at that. Piggly Wiggly.
This is the one from that we wore on the court when we shot T-shirts into the crowd. This is like the original Hoop Troop uniform.
Like 1980s looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so
97.
97. That's what's fitting. Yeah. I love like the color blocks, like the 90s color block is just the best.
I kind of feel like do I take it to a seamstress and get the Piggly Wiggly taken out? Or I think people like the Piggly Wiggly.
No, yeah, shop the pig, man.
We used to give out T-shirts that had Piggly Wiggly on the front and the Bucks logo on the back. Like that, and we had 4 shirts a game.
It's just more
they give out like 200 shirts a game now. We had 4 shirts a game to give out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's awesome.
Huge win last night. We got the World Series coming up this weekend. Packers on Sunday. Trick or treating, Halloween. A Greek Roman god among us.
Whoa.
Hercules in the house.
I am.
Yeah. What are you?
Are you not a Roman god?
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars.
Hey.
Roman. So a Roman god, basically.
Yeah. This piece of pizza was just in my car.
Is that a fire poker, bro?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I brought a weapon to work as well. Yeah. So
why was that piece of pizza in your, did you buy it for this reason?
No, it was actually, it was like we heard that they were going to,
amazing.
we were gonna be in costume today.
Yeah.
And so I immediately called Mommy Tommy because I was like, I don't have a costume. So we need to see if there's something in the basement. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of came up with the idea of, hey, I got this old piece of pizza in the fridge. Like, do you want to just stick it on a fire poker?
I'm gonna throw it in the trash, or you
can
just carry it around all day.
So I have I
the
have thing in there, right?
Yeah, you are a Greek god.
If I take this off, like now I look like Jesus. This is like what it's.
Versatile outfit. I mean, you can mix and match wherever the night takes you.
So et tu brute. There we go.
Nice,
that's where we're at today.
Julius Caesar, love it. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, and I know we've got Buck stuff to get to. Mikey Henninger, Basement Brood Fantasy Football. Kevin Holden, longtime friend here from CBS 58, now down in North Carolina. He's going to do some Eye on the Enemy with the Panthers. And let's start with our Green Bay Packers because, as much as excited as we are about last night, as much as we're looking forward to the World Series, the Packers are the number 1 seed in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
And Mason, I don't know if you've heard or not, but some people may have mentioned that this could be the classic trap game. I don't know if you heard that or not.
Trap game. It's Halloween on a Friday. I mean, everything. I mean, you heard Coach LaFleur talking about how he doesn't care that it's Halloween. Like, we're just focused on winning a game. I'm going to tell you, those Halloween parties are a good time. So some people are caring it's Halloween. They're gonna they'll be smart, but I'm sure there will be some celebrating.
Will it be
it could be. If I was doing it, if we were still there, I would suggest doing it Sunday night after the game. That would be my Halloween party. Kind of.
Is it a different vibe if you win versus lose the game?
Oh yeah, gotta be right.
Do you risk it if you lose? Have the Halloween party?
I think in this game you'd risk it. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
Trap game.
Total trap game.
Just like Tommy's in a trap weekend with all his picks. I mean, This is set up for failure. But yeah, it's a noon game, so it's like let's just push it out.
We get to the game,
so we can have a really good time at the party because nobody I love the Halloween parties. I love the Christmas parties.
What was your best outfit as
best
a Green Bay
outfit
Packer?
ever was Molly and I dressed as each other.
Oh,
and it was right after she had the twins. So I had 2 baby dolls and like wore like this big long dress thing and like had a wig, and then she dressed up as a Packer player.
Number 2? Was she number 2?
Oh yeah. And then I had like a wine bottle holster. It was pretty amazing.
It
was pretty amazing.
Matt LaFleur was asked about Halloween. I hit the space bar.
Yeah, you're gonna have to just play it from the media player, probably.
Since you didn't know what hat you had on, do you not know what your Halloween costume's gonna be?
It's Halloween, huh? Got a big discussion with this with my assistant Daryl. I was like,
just trying to.
I don't give a if it's Halloween. All right. I don't give a if it's Halloween.
He said a bad word.
All right.
Yeah.
We're trying to win a game. Period. So. Well done, Wallers.
I told you.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
And then he wraps it up.
Yeah, it's a Friday in the National Football League. That's what day it is.
There you go.
I told you all about this, right? Like, these types of games, it's Friday. He's going to go into that meeting. You can already tell that it's like he's going to go in that meeting and be like, put it on those guys and demand that like, this is Friday. It doesn't matter that it's Halloween. We're going to win a game at home on Sunday. That's it. Like, you could almost feel that, right? Like I told you, it was almost like coaches have this innate ability where it's like, all right, these guys are a little maybe unfocused, or they're thinking about their Halloween costumes, all these things. I'm going to shut that down right away.
Tommy, you okay there, bro?
Just like,
are you mad?
It's a coach mind. It's a coach mind.
Right. I get it.
It doesn't mean it doesn't matter, but it's just how a coach thinks.
I get it. But if he feels he has to reassure his players to care more about the Carolina Panthers than their Halloween costume this weekend, way bigger problems in the Green Bay Packers.
I think he's more worried about distraction, right?
It's just a distraction mind. Yeah. It's like, they're just like a coach will reset and like make sure that, okay, he's not thinking, he has kids. Like, he knows it's Halloween. Like, he knows like what's going on. Like, he's going to go home after work today, and I'm sure he'll do all the Halloween stuff with his kids. But right now, he's saying the right things. He's going to tell his players, like, we have a job to do. And it doesn't mean that anyone is thinking any differently or doing that, but I'm just giving you insight into the head coach world of they go through these processes throughout the season where it's like, on this day, I felt like Coach McCarthy, he would just pick like a certain time of every quarter of the season, and he's just going to stop practice, rip into everybody, do all that. Like, whether it was going good or bad, there were some times where it's like, Aaron just threw 2 touchdowns. Like, we're done. And he just like,
what are we yelling about?
Start the period over. This is ridiculous. And it's like, he just chose that moment to lock it in.
The Carolina Panthers come in average per game 5th in the league in rushing. Yeah. And I think we all agree that if there's any way the Panthers keep this one close and put a scare into the Packers, it's because they control the ball and they are able to run. And the Packers' run defense hasn't been awesome. And now Quay Walker's not practicing.
You said the Packers' run defense hasn't been awesome just the last couple of weeks?
Right. Yeah. Overall, the numbers are really good. It started out awesome. That's right. It started out awesome at the beginning of the year. The past couple of weeks, it hasn't been as strong as it was at the beginning of the year. Is there any fear that if something weird happens and Carolina can get their running game going with a lead, that has an effect on this game?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I mean, Buffalo Bills were able to, just shut this offense down and that run game and all. I mean, and the Bills have I would say a way worse defense than the Green Bay Packers.
I tend to agree.
So I think I have no concern if they want to just run the ball, try to control the clock. They're not going to get a lot of first downs. It's not going to be like they're not going to score enough to keep up with this Packers team because they're not going to be able to stop the Packers offense. So I could see fluky. It could be one of those. It could do something weird, get up by a touchdown, but that's about it. I mean, it's going to be a second half like the Steelers where Packers just take control and they just roll and beat them by 14 plus.
So as we look at this matchup and who needs to have a game? Who needs to step up? Or do they just need to show up, play their game, and get to the Halloween party? Does somebody need to send a statement to Philly? Or is that how you get into a trap game?
I think you need to stack success that you had last week. I think for me, and I don't know if that's LaFleur's mindset. I think he's probably plays the chess match a little bit more where he's going to maybe, try to spread it out and get somebody else to have a big game like Tucker Kraft had last week. But if I'm coaching this team, I'm like, we are going to just show Philly that Tucker Kraft running the ball effectively, getting, Emmanuel Wilson, getting other running backs other than just leaning on Josh Jacobs involved is going to be huge, and then spreading it out to the receivers wherever. That's offensively. I would lean on Tucker Kraft again, make them stop him, and make the Eagles know that they have to stop Tucker Kraft if they want to have success against this team.
I would argue that I'm looking more at the defense in this game against Carolina with, their quarterback situation being between Bryce Young and Andy Dalton. I know their run offense has been productive, but they're also now splitting time again after Rico Dowdle was great for those 2 weeks where he put up unreal numbers, and now they're trying to work Chuba Hubbard back into the game.
Who's also pretty darn good.
He's good. He's a very solid player.
Yeah.
But the Packers, that defense we saw at the beginning of the year where they were only giving up 13 points to Detroit and 18 points to Washington, and even a loss to Cleveland, only gave up 13. Since that, the last 4 games, the Packers have only had that one game in which they've kept an opponent under 20 points, and that was the Cincinnati Bengals game. That's a great line, by the way, in the NFL, to hold an opponent under 20 points. It's a fantastic day on the defense. But we also, at the beginning of the season, found ourselves saying, well, do you trust the consistency of Jordan Love or this defense more? And I think a lot of people in the beginning wanted to lean on this defense to be a part of that identity for Green Bay. And the last few weeks, it shows that it has some cracks in it, and it's gone all the way back to that 40-point game against Dallas. Now it's time to get back on track, I think, on the defensive side in really shutting things out. And I think, Mason, that is part of, creating some turnovers, the pressures that they've gotten over the last couple of weeks. Like, put it all together, not necessarily as a team, but as a defense again, and you can walk away a little more positive after this game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Another great point this week, Tommy. Man, that's two.
Two great points.
Two great points. I mean, you ball. Trap weekend is upon you, but you do know ball. So yeah, I agree. I think this defense, if you look across, like at their holistically what they've been, I mean, they've had 2 games, right? Someone scored more than 20 points on them. Like isn't that it?
No, had the last 2 weeks they've given up 25 and then the 40-point game.
So 3 games.
3 of the last 4. They have not had the same defense as the first.
But I also would argue it's like you had, the Cowboys who have an outstanding offense.
Yep.
The Steelers, I think their offense is playing well. Their defense is a little bit, they're suspect with how much they're getting paid, right? Like that's kind of everyone's question mark. And then Arizona was just kind of a weird one, right? Like, so I think the defense is going to be okay. I believe that this game though is that game to stack where it's like, all right, we are playing Philly. You don't think about that, but you're just like, we have an opportunity to create turnovers, try to get to Bryce Young, stop the run game, put the game into Bryce Young's hands, or if Andy Dalton's playing, whoever's going, and try to create turnovers and give the offense an opportunity with short fields or just, quick, turnover of the ball. Like, I think that's a great point, Tommy. I think the defense has more pressure and has kind of more on their backs to go and play a complete game against an inferior opponent like the Carolina.
Well, and Mitch, the offense has even proven that they don't even need to play a full complete game to look awesome. Just go back 1 week, right? I mean, they put up 28 points in the second half.
Or literally any week.
Yes.
This team has not played a 60-minute game yet, and most teams in the NFL don't. Like, I think the fact that, like, people keep saying, oh, we're ready for the Packers to play 60 minutes. Nobody plays 60 minutes. Everybody has a letdown in an NFL game. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Who do you want to see show up and show out this Sunday for the Green Bay Packers? Speaking of the offense, though, I wouldn't be shocked if after all the questions Sunday night and Monday and Tuesday, especially about are there enough balls for everybody and what's going on with Golden, that they figure out a way for Golden to have like 5 for 60 in the first half and just force feed Matthew Golden just to throw Philly off.
This happens every week.
Yeah.
We keep saying it, but I don't think it's necessary.
But this would be the week.
I don't think it's necessary.
I don't think it's necessary either. But this would be the week that, like, because LaFleur got bombarded with these questions, and he might just stick, like, kind of like his Halloween answer. He might have another, bleep you to the fans and to the media and to the rest of the NFL. Yeah, we know we got a number one. All right, we're going to show you this half. He's a number one. Then he's going to go back to being Matthew Golden. So Philly, please game plan for Matthew Golden because he's not even going to see a ball.
Yeah, that is a good mindset. Like, all right, like try to show something that Philly can lean into and look at and be like, all right, like they're developing this, they're doing that. And then you shift right back to, all right, it's going to be Tucker Kraft, Josh Jacobs, and like, kind of our game whenever we have to face the Philadelphia Eagles. I like that mindset as well. And that's probably more of a LaFleur type mindset, right?
Well,
you just get that feel from him, right, Tommy?
At what point do you want to just say, screw it, and we have to force feed Tucker Kraft, right? I mean, is he now
but not in a game like the Panthers, right?
I want to see identity out of this Green Bay
you
team.
Try to get Tucker Kraft 100 yards every game. Like in my mind, like moving on, I'm like, we're going to try to get Tucker Kraft 100 yards.
And you don't even have to really work things downfield.
10, 12 targets every game plus.
Yeah, you show it's again last week. You showed you don't need to go downfield in order to have that. Like he was run after the catch machine against Pittsburgh. Yes,
for sure. Because it sets everything up because like, I mean, he's like in the line blocking and then he's just in the flats, right? Like these are simple things, but because of the route tree that we're doing, you're scraping, you're getting guys. So if you play man coverage against this Packers team, Tucker Kraft is going to eat all day long because it's just, you can't cover him. Whenever he's coming off the line, delayed routes, things like that. It's just impossible.
And then you can't stop him once he has the ball either, which is even more fun to watch.
You don't have guys like watching him, right? They're coming off of like coverage and they're trying to make a tackle and he's just running through people.
Because like defensive backs and most safeties are just going to bounce right off him because he's such a house.
Do you know who told us to hammer Jordan Love and Tucker Kraft last week?
Snoop Dogg?
No.
Oh,
Mikey
Henninger?
Mikey Henninger.
Oh,
yes.
I was just being funny. We didn't have Snoop Dogg on the show. That was just
Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
In case anybody was wondering, like, haven't booked him yet. Tommy's working on it.
We're working on
it. We'll get Snoop Dogg at some
Diego
point.
Pavia.
We've had some good ones, but no Snoop Dogg yet.
But speaking of Mikey Henninger, he's next. We are going to answer your fantasy football questions. So get them in to the Nicolay Law Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Throw them up at YouTube or at Twitter. That's at WI Sports Radio, at WI Sports Radio. Ask your questions there. Get them in right now. Who should you start? Who should you bench? Fantasy. I mean, I'm so down. One of my teams is 1-7, and I just want to can I just quit the league?
Oh, you didn't have a bounce back. So
no, not in that league. Other leagues I have, but that one league, I just want to burn it down. That's a Seth Rollins reference for Ryan Rollins. That's for later. Mikey Henninger is next. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We're in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Fantasy football, your questions next.
Yeah, buddy.
Tommy, you weren't looking at the screen, but like I was on and you were on, and Mason's screen was like this. And then he moved in. Like, and it was like, yeah, like there. It's like, whoa. It's like just like a ghost.
It's a flow, yeah.
The ghost of Mason Crosby has joined the show. What's up, Mace?
Oh, not much. I'm wearing my no days off hat. I'm like I don't know what I am. I mean, I'm just kind of maybe myself. I'm a soccer dad, but I got my national SC.
Oh, Crosby,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
You're a real soccer player.
So I want to be MLS soccer player.
Over under 20 kids in your house right now.
Oh gosh, it's close. I think we might have close to 16. Yeah, so it's probably an under.
It's Halloween come early.
That is how over-unders work, right? Like less than.
Okay.
My
God.
Okay. Hey, we were just talking. The Thunder hit yesterday.
Yeah, Thunder hit last night.
Thursday unders.
The Thursday under.
hit.
28-6.
Oh,
Thunder hit. Let's go.
That. It's
All
a
right.
thing now.
It is. It's going to be a thing. Joining us, especially when it's not in the division. In the division, it goes over. Like Cincy and Pittsburgh went to 64 last week. You can't count that. Joining us now on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. No, I don't want that one. I want that one. Is our best fantasy football friend, Mikey Henninger. Mikey, what is up?
What's up, fellas? Thunder, dude. I'm digging that jacket. I might have to text you offline to see how much you want for it.
It's a onesie, bro. It's a full jumpsuit.
Oh, is it? That's even better.
Yeah.
So I actually wore this on the court at the Bradley Center for numerous Milwaukee Bucks seasons, throwing T-shirts into the crowd.
Dude, that's even better. That's even
I
better. I
got
gotta
a little
get that.
known fact, except everybody knows that about me by now. That like I used to throw T-shirts into the crowd, and I dyed my hair green and purple.
Still owes Kareem a quarter, I heard too. Back in
I'm
the
not that. Oh my god!
Yes.
Terrell
Says
Brandon,
Julius Caesar.
Yeah. Terrell Brandon, Tyrone Hill, then Big Dog and Ray and Sam and Tim. I was there for those days.
I know names.
Exactly. I can just say names out loud.
Say names.
Someone will nod their head. So, Mikey, how's your week? How's everything going?
Good, man. It's you know how it goes, man. 30 hours a week researching every quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. That's how I spend my weeks these days. So I'm good, man.
Yeah, you had a good hit last week on saying we asked about it. We'll ask you again about the Packer game and the guys you like, but you were all over Tucker Kraft and Jordan Love in that game. What gave it away in that one, Mikey?
Yeah, it was just number crunching, just the data, right? The Steelers just have been bleeding production to wide receivers and tight ends all year. So if you assume that the Packers play to the data, then you got to assume that Tucker Kraft has a day. The wide receivers didn't necessarily stand out, but they, that offense is very spread the ball around. I know you guys were talking about it earlier, but there's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. But man, Tucker Kraft is the real deal for sure.
Can he keep it up numbers-wise, though? Like, we know he is him. We know he's that guy. But, like, from a pure fantasy standpoint, with the concern of spreading the ball around, is there that concern? Or like Mason said last segment, Mason just wants him to get 100 yards and not from a fantasy standpoint, from a football standpoint.
Yeah.
But obviously that would help fantasy heads as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't think there's any reason to believe he's going to be this consistent weekly. It's the sort of thing where you have to put him in the lineup because of the ceiling that he has, but he is going to have those slower weeks. That's just the nature of the Packers offense. There's just way too many mouths to feed there, right? They spent the first round pick on a wide receiver. Romeo Doubs is playing well. Christian Watson's back. Jaden Reed is coming back hopefully soon. I haven't heard much about that, but it
Thanksgiving at the earliest would be my guess.
Okay, so it's just the nature of Matt LaFleur's offense. It's a great NFL offense, but it's going to create some headaches in fantasy football. That's just the nature of it.
Well, you said the name that's always at the kind of top of our list every week is Matthew Golden going to have his breakout game. Like, I have him on my roster. I picked him up last week. Obviously didn't have a lot of production. So, but I was able to win my matchup. I have him on the bench right now. Do you think it's worth putting him into starting lineup? Here's who he would have to replace. And like, I kind of know the answer to this. I mean, I have T. Higgins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and who is this guy? Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
For Buffalo. I feel like those guys have to be in the lineup over Matthew.
They do,
Golden,
but
right?
Shakur's kind of a bum.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he got what was last week? Last week he went no, it wasn't.
I feel like he's inconsistent. Is that fair?
Last week
Mikey?
he got me 17 points.
All right,
I mean,
all
he
right.
was He was pretty good last week against Carolina, too.
Yeah. So here's the thing with Khalil Shakir. He's somewhat inconsistent, but he's the most consistent receiver on Buffalo's roster. The thing is, he just doesn't have this massive ceiling. Like, he's not the type of guy that's usually getting you 20, 30 plus points. It's usually hanging out in that 13 to 17 range. But as far as Matthew Golden goes, yeah, someday he's going to have that day. Now, from a numbers and data standpoint, this doesn't look like the week. I mean, the Packers are 14-point favorites. This projects as a game where Jordan Love doesn't even throw the ball 30 times. Carolina is impossible against wide receivers, by the way. They are holding them to the third fewest catches in football, third fewest yards, seventh fewest touchdowns, fewest PPR points per game. There have just been 4 wide receivers in 8 games that have been able to score even just 11 PPR points against Carolina. So purely from a numbers standpoint, this doesn't look like the boom week for Matthew Golden. Instead, it looks like it's put the ball in Josh Jacobs' belly and let him do his thing for 60 minutes. Maybe even Emmanuel Wilson gets 10 plus touches here.
All right, that's good to know.
Yeah, good insight.
We would love your fantasy football questions. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250 on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Mikey, I was wondering how much you watch the headlines, not necessarily what's going on fantasy-wise, but kind of what's going on with different teams. I saw that Detroit came out, and whoever the offensive coordinator is now, who took over for Ben Johnson, came out pretty strongly worded saying that he has let down Jameson Williams, that they have Jameson Williams as this weapon. And we've talked about it before on our weekly segments, that Jameson Williams has done nothing. Like there's nothing going on with him. I have him on one of my teams. I love his big play explosivity, but we haven't seen it this year. Do you pay attention when coaches say, we've done this guy a disservice, so we got to get the ball in this guy's hands? Does that often translate into an uptick in touches or fantasy output?
It does, and it doesn't. So let me, to be clear.
Thanks. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
In the offseason, in the preseason, I don't pay attention to that stuff, right? During the offseason and the preseason, it's always coach speak. Like people get excited when coaches come out and say, oh, yeah, so-and-so is going to have a big year. When it's like, what are you expecting that coach to say? Hey, we think he's going to struggle. We think he's going to have some up and down weeks. So the preseason, I don't pay too much attention to that. But in a week like this week, where Jameson Williams is coming off 0 catches, I think he had 0 targets. Like, he didn't even touch, or 2 weeks ago, right? They just came off their bye week.
Yeah.
You do see a lot of times what we like to call in the fantasy community a squeaky wheel syndrome, where the guy who wasn't featured in the previous week, suddenly it's like the offensive coordinator is all of a sudden like, we have to force feed this guy just to show that he's still a part of our team. We spent a 1st round pick on Jameson Williams. So I do put some stock into the fact that Detroit is going into this next game with a focus on getting their guy the football. I mean, they're heavy favorites against the Vikings, so theoretically they could play around a little bit and just try and get their guy the ball. But yeah, I do think you will see early in the first quarter, they try and connect with Jameson Williams on a deep shot, or even just try and get him going in the screen game just to get the confidence, get the momentum going a little bit. Yeah, so during the preseason, no, I pay 0 attention to it, but during the week, that makes a little bit of a difference for sure.
Nice.
Awesome. Love that. I love that. So Mikey, who are your sleepers? Who are you looking at this week? What games kind of stand out to you as something, if you're in your weekly, you're just kind of pick 'em leagues, things like that. Like what are you looking at?
So I'm looking at my weekly resource I create every week. It's called the Week Winner. The 2 top guys that I have in my blue column, which means nothing to you here, but Kamani Vidal for the Chargers. That's a name that nobody was thinking about coming into the season. He's the guy behind Omarion Hampton, but Omarion Hampton's on IR.
He's hurt, right? Yep.
Yeah, everything just sets up beautifully for Kamani Vidal in this game. The Chargers are 10-point favorites against the Titans. They should be running the ball like crazy. Kamani Vidal has been the number 1 running back for that offense while Omarion Hampton is on IR, and the Titans are just terrible when it comes to defending running backs. They're giving up the 2nd most PPR points, the 3rd most PPR points per touch. There have been 9 different running backs, by the way, in just 8 games that have scored 10 plus PPR points against the Tennessee Titans, and 6 of them scored 16 plus. So Kamani Vidal is in a smash spot as long as he stays on the field, stays healthy. They should be giving him the ball. I really liked DeAndre Swift for the Bears going into this week, but he is banged up. I haven't checked the Friday practice reports. If DeAndre Swift does not practice today, I highly recommend anybody who's listening go out and pick up Kyle Monangai, their 7th round rookie running back. He has been the RB2 for Chicago, and he will be in an absolute smash spot if DeAndre Swift misses this game. The Bengals are allowing the most PPR points per game to opposing running backs. If he's going to be the RB1 for Chicago, I mean, that's an easy plug and play 10 plus, 15 plus type of points that you can just throw right into your lineup this week. So keep an eye on the practice report for DeAndre Swift.
I love the names that like most people don't know that to pick up.
I got plenty of those.
Yeah. And like I would call him Vidal Sassoon. Right? Didn't we all grow up with Vidal Sassoon commercials? Like,
right.
I've heard of him because he's starting now. But if Najee Harris hadn't gotten hurt and Amarian Hampton hadn't gotten hurt, I never would have heard of this guy in a million years if it wasn't for fantasy football, right?
I was about 1 year too soon. I was banging the drum on Vidal last year when the Chargers only had J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, but it never panned out. So now this year I'm like, man, I'm always just like 1 year too soon on these guys. But hey, better late or better early than never, I guess. So
that's fair. I want to go back to some of the quarterback talk that we've had over the past few weeks because we've talked a lot about Daniel Jones and Josh Allen and Caleb Williams. And I mean, I look like Daniel Jones is at the Steelers, and obviously we know you can pass against the Steelers. Caleb Williams is facing the Bengals, and that should be, he fantasy-wise has not had a great past couple of weeks. They had a lot of rushing touchdowns last week in their win. Do you see some of these guys who aren't known as being like top quarterbacks in the league continuing their fantasy ways? Or do you see or do you think like Josh Allen's going to get it back together and be the number one guy and Mahomes is going to keep it going? Or do you think Mahomes comes back to earth at all? That's a lot of quarterback questions at once.
No, I think so. Guys like Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, we know who those guys are, and that's who they're going to be pretty much every week. This season that Patrick Mahomes is having is not a fluke. I think we talked about it last week or a couple weeks ago. He was by far my number one most drafted player this year because he was available in the 6th, 7th round at times. It's not a fluke. And he's got all of his weapons back, right? Rashee Rice is finally here. Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce suddenly has plenty of space to operate with. So that's not a fluke, but some of those other guys you mentioned are definitely high upside guys that you can play when they are in the right matchup, like Caleb Williams this week against the Bengals. That could be back and forth with Joe Flacco. That game has an over-under of 51.5. Both teams have an implied point total of 24 plus points. Bengals are allowing the 9th most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. Like, this is a really good spot for Caleb Williams. Daniel Jones is balling. He's in the perfect offense for his skill set. The Steelers are not great against quarterbacks. They're a top 3 matchup for quarterbacks. That game could shoot out a little bit. So it's the sort of thing where if you have some of those top names, right? If you have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, etc., you don't even need to roster another quarterback. But if you missed out on those guys and you don't have those elite options, then you simply want to play the matchup. You want to find the best matchup, find the best game environment, and stream. It's called streaming. You want to stream Caleb Williams or Daniel Jones or Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford this week is in a good spot. And that's what I'm doing all week on a weekly basis is finding those matchups and sharing those with my subscribers for sure.
Well, I got a curious question for you, Mikey. We've talked a lot about it this week in regards to the Packers facing the Carolina Panthers. Trap games. Do you see that in like fantasy football where it's just like, all right, is there a game? And in regards to the Packers Carolina game, in a fantasy sense, it almost sounds like you kind of alluded to that, especially with how they hold wide receivers to so few points and things in fantasy football. So if the Packers can't run the ball effectively, does that kind of, not bode well for what kind of points they can get on offense?
Yeah, I think the trick here, particularly for the Packer game, is that not only are they 12.5 point favorites, but the Carolina Panthers have a projected team total of just 16 points. So Vegas sportsbooks are expecting them to get just 16. That tells us that if this is not a Josh Jacobs game, this is a Micah Parsons game. So when you get Bryce Young, who, by the way, is coming off a high ankle sprain, so that's going to limit his ability to get out of the pocket. I don't know about you guys. I don't want to be a quarterback with a bad ankle knowing that Micah Parsons is coming at me. So I don't know how that is going to work for Carolina. But this is the sort of thing that Josh Jacobs, it might not be his prettiest game or most efficient game, but he should get enough volume to pay dividends. And if he doesn't, the Packers defense should be able to take care of their business. It's just the sort of thing where volume doesn't project to be there for Packers receivers. And then when you think about what the Panthers can do on the defensive side of the ball, efficiency doesn't project to be there for Green Bay as well. So it is kind of a trap game for Packers wide receivers here. Yeah.
The website is basementbrewedff.com, basementbrewedff.com, because he brews his coffee in the basement and then
beer.
He comes up with his beer, excuse me.
And coffee.
And drinks
together.
And
That's
drinks them all day Sunday and Thursday night and Monday night and all the games. Basementbrewedff.com. Mikey Henninger, thank you so much for jumping on this week. Go Bucks. As we saw last night, I know we're celebrating our Bucks.
Big win.
And we will talk to you later.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, fellas. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your trick-or-treating.
You
All
bet.
Right.
Yes.
Me too. It is Halloween. We're having a good one.
Yep. All the candy. Let's go. That's Mikey Henninger, basementbrewedff.com. Speaking of the Bucks, let's talk about that game last night. What a performance by Ryan freaking Rollins to share share the middle name with Seth freaking Rollins. Ryan is him. Giannis was fired up. Everybody was fired up last night. It was lit at Fiserv Forum. Bucks talk coming up on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, sir.
Ryan Rollins for threes. That's it! Oh, nail in the coffin! 32 points for Ryan Rollins.
Absolutely unbelievable performance by Ryan Rollins last night at Fiserv Forum. Bucks take down the Warriors 120-110 without Giannis. 8 players. Ryan Rollins scores 32, and the Bucks still have 8 players in double figures. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. I'm Mitch Nelson, a.k.a. Thunder. Fantastic atmosphere, fantastic performance last night for our Milwaukee Bucks, Mace.
Did you wear that jumpsuit? Or?
I did not wear the jumpsuit.
Oh,
I was there with Big Rumble, and she's embarrassed, although I did dance quite a bit.
Nice,
as
good.
Tommy knows that I can do that at games. I did, of course, rap along to The Power by Snap and CNC Music Factory and It Takes Two by Rob Bass. Got all the words right to all those songs, as of course I do.
Well done.
But that was only secondary last night to the performance on the floor and the performance by Ryan Rollins.
Was it expected that Giannis wasn't going to play?
No.
That was kind of a last minute because our good buddy Rob Hall was going to the game.
Oh, thanks for texting me, Rob.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm
thanks,
going to
Rob.
the Bucks game," and then like his next text was like, "Well, I just found out Giannis isn't playing."
You know what? And we found out the same way. An hour and a half before the game, Doc Rivers in his pregame press conference said that he believed Giannis was going to play. Giannis went through pregame warmups, and about an hour before the game, pulled himself, said he was not ready to go. He did knock knees on Tuesday night with Bridges from the Knicks. So there is some left knee soreness, I believe. But Ryan Rollins, for the second straight game with a new career high in points.
He looks so good.
I mean, it's funny because he was on the Warriors.
Yeah.
Like that was his first team. And so Steph knows. And Steph said, it's awesome to see, but I'm also pissed.
Yeah.
Like I'm mad about it.
How about that? How about Gary Trent Jr. on Steph Curry too? I mean, like late in that game, like in the second half, whenever he stole the ball from him and like, he was
created
trying
the
to cross
turnover.
Yeah. It's just like, man, like this team, I was thinking last night as I'm watching this team, I'm like, okay, we're not talking about them as contender. They're not, but they're rolling right now. And it's like a guy like Ryan Rollins, guys like Gary Trent Jr. I mean, KPJ's not playing.
Right.
AJ Green. I mean, this could be one of those years where we see a budding superstar in the making, right? Like on paper, you might just say like, okay, they have Miles Turner and Giannis, and then it's like a bunch of like kind of a assist guys that are just role players. But you're seeing some of these young players develop into something really special.
They're not just assist guys. I mean,
Ryan Rollins is proving to be that guy, and he wants to have the ball in his hands, and he wants to be in control of that offense.
Do you think it's more that an emerging superstar could come from this team, or this is literally just watching Milwaukee Brewers baseball all over again, just in the form of basketball, where it's going to be a different guy every day?
It could.
Well, it's not going to be a different guy every day because it's always going to be Giannis.
So it'd
be like what would the Brewers be like with Ohtani?
Well, no,
Ohtani would be the guy every day, and then it would be a different guy behind the guy. Every
right.
Day.
I'm saying
it's a little different because you
I
have
think that's what you're asking, Tommy.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a little different.
I think of it as like, okay, let's just say Yelich, right, is the Giannis, which is a terrible comparison, but just for this exercise, like, yeah, it'd be like someone else every day is coming up and being a guy. I saw it. I can see that being AJ Green on a certain day. We saw that for a little bit out of Miles Turner yesterday. I thought that was the best game of the season Bobby Portis played all season to this point.
Probably should have played more, actually. Only played 19 minutes and had energy to play more.
Right. Gary Trent looks awesome and had great moments in the postseason last year. And Mason's boy, Taurean Prince, was knocking it down when he needed to as well. Like, he's
having a good start to the season.
And you didn't even mention Cole Anthony, who's like instant offense, unbelievable off the bench.
He's my boy. I told you, he's amazing. He's awesome. I really think that while Ryan Rollins looks great through 2 games, and I do believe in Ryan Rollins because yesterday he was hooping by himself out there and taking over by himself out there. I still think that this is going to be a team that, Giannis gets the ball, and whatever happens after that, like that can change on a day-to-day basis.
But it has to feel and be more impressive that Giannis didn't play.
Oh, yeah.
And you can have Ryan Rollins then, because Ryan Rollins, when Giannis is on the court, there were a couple times early in the season here where, he's kind of trying to figure out where he goes. Like he's the point guard, but Giannis is bringing the ball up the court.
He's still he's going to go through that all season.
But then whenever Giannis needs a breather or whatever, Ryan has no issue stepping into that role. So this win last night has to be even that much more impressive that Giannis didn't play. And you got a guy like Ryan Rollins stepping up, and you have like all those role players just doing their thing. Miles Turner had probably a better night.
He had a great night. 17 and 7, sure.
And then AJ Green, I love the one kind of combo where he shoots the three, they get the rebound, and they dish it right back out to him. He kind of moved to another spot and just throws it back up again. It's like if AJ Green gets 2 looks, he's not going to miss.
Get it back to him.
Opportunity. Get it back to him. Just splashes it. Oh, that was so good.
Can I say a stat that's a little scary?
Okay.
Scary in a good way, I'll say, because
Halloween. Scary.
Damian Lillard's averages in his last 10 games with the Bucks without Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, let's just look at Ryan Rollins' stat line and listen to Damian Lillard. 32.5 points a game. What did Ryan Rollins have yesterday? 32.
Okay.
Yeah.
8.5 assists a game. What did Ryan Rollins have yesterday?
8.
And 4.3 rebounds, and Ryan Rollins had 3. He literally played as well as Damian Lillard would play off the court with no Giannis as what Ryan Rollins did yesterday.
I love you.
I
love your made up facts.
That is a real fact.
That is a real fact.
Again, you got to give Bucks management really good though. I mean, you got to give them credit where it's like that's great management. Where it's like, okay, we got some young guys that can carry some of the weight. We might have to spread it out amongst different players if Giannis isn't available, but no, you move on from Dame and you figure out a way to just make it work with the guys that you have in the building.
I think I probably disagree with almost everything you guys just said, but we don't have time to get to it right now, so we'll have to wait till next week.
Yeah.
Kevin Holden is next, and he will give us Eye on the Enemy. The Carolina Panthers stink, and he has to cover them. He spends most of his time chasing down Bill Belichick, so we'll probably talk some Bill Belichick with him as well. And what I don't know what else is the Hornets? No, probably not. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Ellis. Tommy Wirtz in the house. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon right here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Our studios are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Yeah, boy, 1 hour done, 1 hour to go. Happy Halloween. This is the Mason Crosby Show throughout the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Green Bay, Wausau, Duluth Superior, Milwaukee, and everywhere in between. We're on YouTube. We are on Twitter at WI Sports Radio. That's at WI Sports Radio for the hundreds and hundreds of viewers right now on the streams. Thank you for jumping in. Mason, happy Halloween. What's the last piece of candy you ate?
The last piece of candy I ate.
Like, have you had a piece today yet?
I have not had anything today.
What?
Yeah.
What are you waiting for, bro?
I didn't even buy Halloween candy this year.
Well, who did?
What's that?
Nobody.
Nobody.
What do you
I'm in charge of Halloween. I run Halloween at our house. I got all the kids' costumes. I did all the Halloween work this year.
Makes sense why that seems like it's the most dysfunctional holiday in the Crosby house.
It's amazing. So Elizabeth's a Ralphie handler, Colorado Buffalo Ralphie handler.
Not a cult. Not a cult.
Charlotte Ralphie?
No, she's a Colorado cheerleader. And then the twins are like the skeleton, like mask thing, the light up skeleton suits.
Oh,
got them all dialed in, guys.
All
I
right.
mean,
Nolan?
I got this thing going. Nolan is going to be a
Too cool for school?
Deion
no,
Sanders.
like an early 2000s like rapper. I think they have.
Yeah.
He's
all
Kevin
of their
Federline.
buddies.
Fine cultural
Soldier Boy.
appropriation.
They got all the stuff
my God.
going on. I know.
Wow, that's
Wow.
it's a little.
I think
dicey
that's
there,
popular.
Mace.
That's popular, I guess, right now.
If you say so.
I've heard this next guest is kind of been the Soldier Boy of North Carolina. That's what I've heard.
all
All
right. I
right,
like
bring
that.
him.
Joining us now on our guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law, the one, the only Kevin Holden. What's up, Big Kev?
Going on, you get well. First of all, as you know, if I'm the Soldier Boy of here, the instruction to the people here is to, if I remember properly, to raise up, twist a shirt around your head like a helicopter.
No, that's Petey Pablo.
That's Petey Pablo.
That's Petey
yeah.
Pablo. Come
No
on.
one needs to see that from me. Let me just tell you that. By the way, Andy, my wife got this big tub right here. I had a single Almond Joy last night. One Almond Joy.
Wow. That's
Fake
commitment to
coconut.
not dive into there.
Who bought Almond Joy? There's not one.
You don't
kid
like
who
Almond Joy?
No
I
one
love
likes Almond Joy.
Almond
bro.
Joys are elite, Mitch.
Yeah, Almond
Elite.
Joys are
Am
so
I
good.
seriously in the minority here?
Do you not
Oh,
like
yeah.
coconut?
Not fake coconut?
Oh gosh, Almond Joys and Mounds. Give me
No,
some
they're the
of that.
worst. Any kid, all right.
There was a joke on fake coconut in there
relax.
somewhere.
Probably about Mounds. Almond Joy has nuts. Mounds don't. I don't know. You remember that? That was.
yeah,
the
I was gonna say that we're all in. on
Sometimes
fake
you feel like a nut.
coconuts.
Sometimes you don't.
All right. I got to get out of this conversation because
Yeah,
I
you
know
do.
I know I'm in the majority on Earth. I know I'm
On
in the
Earth.
minority on this show, and I'm
On
okay with that. Kevin, how is North Carolina? How are you? Tell us everything. Ready? Go.
Man, first of all, it's great to see you guys to get this piece of what's been 15 years of our history. My wife and I, we miss the folks in Wisconsin. It's it's that time of year here in North Carolina. I'll tell you a couple things. One, it's super busy and super fun. I've got a great team at work. We are putting in the hours. You got UNC, NC State, Duke, the Panthers, the Carolina Hurricanes. There's certainly no shortage of stuff here. The other thing is Bill Belichick is a circus, guys.
We were going to go there, but let's start with it. I love that. Yeah. Tell us about the Bill Belichick project going on there at North Carolina.
So,
How's it gone so far?
You guys know the record. You see that they have 2 wins and there's not going to be a bowl game and all that other stuff. And you guys have heard the parts with the girlfriend and the documentary and all the other stuff. And I can tell you from seeing this on the inside through the first 10 months of the Belichick era, it is an absolute circus. There's just it's bizarre, man. Like you when you know you're going to talk to the head coach, like you guys know Matt LaFleur is going to speak on this day, right? He'll talk to you on Monday, he'll talk to you on Wednesday. You know that for 6 weeks out. We know when Bill Belichick is going to talk the night before Bill Belichick talks, and so there's a whole bunch of midnight conversations like who's going to Chapel Hill tomorrow. You know, it's
dumb.
Yeah, it's nutty, man. And well, and I mean, you guys know Belichick is first class head coach, one of the best coaches of all time. I don't think anyone could really argue that part of it, but he's adjusting. It's the college realm. These the kids know more about 6'7" than they do about some of the schemes he's bringing in there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. So talk about, like, do you think this is a long-term play for Belichick, or do you think it's going to be kind of a short-lived run there at North Carolina? What's your thoughts?
I think Belichick, I think ideally Bill wanted to pass along a legacy to his son, who's one of his coordinators. And
this is like a family business where it's like, I'm gonna just pass this, university job over to you. Like that seems a little ridiculous, but yes, go ahead.
Oh yeah. It's really true. I mean, Belichick's Bill is in his 70s. Steve is ready to try to do this. And I think the idea was Bill comes in. By the way, Steve is the annual salary higher paid actual employee. Bill got a ton of signing bonus, but Steve has the bigger salary. The problem is they can't get anything together. I mean, they've played better the last couple of weeks, but I'm telling you, man, college football is a whole culture. There's a team in the middle, and then around it you've got boosters, and you've got history, and you've got all this other stuff, and they got a lot of building to do. So I don't know. I would not be 100% shocked if it's a 1-year deal for Belichick, just because. I mean, there's been a whole lot of stuff and not a whole lot of winning football in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, are they getting the players though? I mean, I know they opened up a lot of NIL money whenever he came on board and all that. Are they getting the athletes there that they were hoping to get, or are people kind of, are players not like as excited as they were hoping they would be to go play for Bill Belichick?
I mean, there's been a chunk of it where Bill Belichick shows up at your high school and the world jumps, and that's significant. And I think that'll come into play a little bit later. They have 70 guys on the roster who it's their first year at UNC, and so there's a lot of just coming together. And spring practice and summer practice doesn't necessarily get you there. And they've through 3 or 4 or 5 games of the season, there was a point where they started to show improvement when they got to bye week. So I think the caliber of athlete is still pretty good. The other thing I worry about, like I was saying, I mean, I made the 6'7" joke, but if you're 17 years old or 18 years old, do you really, I mean, they say the name Bill Belichick and they talk about, his great Super Bowls, and these kids are like, it was before my time, man. Like,
no real reason.
I don't think
care,
it carries as much in like the young athletes world anymore, right? They're just like, all right, what can I get? How can I make my brand important? The coach isn't going to do that for me. I can do it for myself.
Mason, if Tom Brady's old, then Bill Belichick's really old, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm 17 or 18.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and he doesn't make up for it with charisma. Let's be honest about that.
So I mean, I guess it's going to be Steven now, and then whoever if him and his and what's her name? What's his
Jordan?
Girlfriend? Jordan, that's right. Yeah, sorry, I've like forgotten all about that whole scene.
It's worth forgetting.
Yeah, exactly.
You are on the right side of history.
Yeah, just like I literally forgot.
Famous Jordan at UNC.
The famous.
Some people are saying that.
Get out of
some
here.
People.
But I mean, at some point, what if they have a kid? Then, like, I'm guessing that family business someday will be passed on to that kid. I mean, is that the hope? We're going to just have Belichick's here for the next 30 plus years.
I mean, they got to stop being 6-6 somehow. And if they think that's how they're going to get out of 6-6, that's how they do. Because otherwise, you could have just had Mac Brown. Mac's going to live to be 150. Like
I know.
Jeez.
So
Mac's one of the greats. I remember getting to know him a little bit when he was there at Texas as I was going through that recruiting process, and talk about a shift. Like it's Mac Brown just this personable, like kind of everybody kind of wants to be around him and be like him, and then Belichick this standoffish, like you said, night before telling you when he's going to come and do his press conferences.
Yeah, I mean, and Mason, you have no reason to remember this, but when you were, of course, you're Georgetown, Texas guy, and when you were at Colorado as a senior, which would be 19 years ago, I was working in Austin, and I got sent to your practice to basically corner you and get a one-on-one interview. Again, you no reason to remember.
Yes, that's so great. Oh man,
it did happen. 19 years ago, you were a college senior, and I was lugging around a big old camera because that's what they had back then, and we were having fun.
That's so awesome, man. I love when those things tie back together. But all right, we got Kevin Holden on the Mason Crosby show. We are going to go into the eye of on the enemy, talk about this Carolina Panthers versus Packers game. Talk about your Carolina Panthers. Just give us kind of a rundown of how y'all are feeling out there. Obviously at 4-4, there's been some sparks of, good play from that team. So just run us down through how the season has felt and how it's, how y'all are feeling it's going so far there in Carolina.
Yeah, the 4-4 here is called extreme progress over where they were last year. It's Dave Canales, I think, is in a good. Dave Canales reminds me a ton of Matt LaFleur. I mean, and not just in the women are watching the TV more when Canales is on there, but he's I think he's a good players coach, and I think he's got a plan that's slowly coming together to develop. And the way they're doing it there is it's around the receiving core. They want explosive playmakers, in the receiving core. Xavier Legette came on last year and was strong. Ted McMillan, the first-round pick this year, is strong. They've got deep threats. Bryce Young is, been on the curve, the up and down the last 2 years really. But when they're good, he's good. Rico Dowdle has given this offense a new dimension. And it's funny because they signed Dowdle to back up Chuba Hubbard. For the first few weeks of the season, he wasn't much of anything. And then Chuba got hurt, and Rico Dowdle went superhuman, and it gave it. There's no coincidence that the 3-game win streak that they had coincided with Rico Dowdle suddenly, becoming a monster, both back end receiver. A lot of yards from scrimmage, and I thought that was a big help. Right now, the Panthers are that kind of team that can do well in the right circumstance. Their home and road split is pretty strong. They've only won one road game, and it was the Jets. So we'll put the air quotes on it. They've won one road game, but at home they only have one loss. And let me tell you, I experienced that loss firsthand. It was the blowout to the Bills. That wasn't a home game. That there were 85% Bills fans there. There was a point in that game where the Panthers got a first down, which was pretty rare in that game, and the PA announcer goes, "And that's another first down." And then the fans all supposed to go, "Carolina Panthers," and then you get that Panther sound from the Janet Jackson song. So in live time, it goes, "That's another first down." Like not a soul said at a Panthers.
Brutal. At least you got Janet.
Yeah, right. And they, when they, because they've done pretty well at home. They beat the Cowboys at home, beat the Dolphins, beat the Falcons. But man, the Bills Mafia took that place over. I mean, they were out there calling everybody Karens and just going nuts. It was wild.
That's awesome. Well, Kevin, yeah, talking about this matchup this weekend, here in Green Bay, in Wisconsin, talking about, not trying to overlook a team like the Carolina Panthers as, the Eagles are looming next week, a big matchup there. Carolina, like you said, they can hang their hat on some things on this team. Their run game looks like they do some good things on the defensive side of the ball. What do you think is their best chance to try to come into Green Bay and steal a win against the Packers team that on paper should handle them pretty well? Kind of what do you look at in this matchup that could pose a problem for our Green Bay Packers?
I think the two biggest things the Panthers could do to steal something in Green Bay. First of all, that offensive line that the Panthers have would have to come together quick because they're dealing with a ton of injuries. Brady Christensen's out for the year and a significant Achilles injury this past Sunday. You guys remember Yosh Nijman? He's one of the guys shuffling around on the line. And so that line was just porous is probably the best word on Sunday. Like Andy Dalton had 3 bodies like 2 feet from him on every play. Like they broke through instantly on every play, and poor Andy Dalton just took it for 4 quarters, man. So Bryce is back. Bryce Young is going to play in this game. The line has got to, hopefully they find a way to protect Bryce Young and give him time. If he does, if they give him time, Leggett, McMillan, these guys, these deep threats, they'll be an issue. Like he'll pick up his yards. The other thing is the Panthers defense would have to find a way to slow down this Jordan Love train. And good luck, because defensive coordinators all over the NFL are trying to do it. And that train is gaining speed, not losing speed. But you've had quarterbacks that have come up with some really good days against the Panthers defense. So they would have to come up with something there. Stops on 3rd down, all the fundamental kind of stuff. But if the Panthers can get some momentum on offense throwing the ball, and from there you can use Rico Dowdle to get them over the top, and they can stop or contain Jordan Love and all of the receivers that they have, then maybe there's a chance. But we're talking about kind of a long shot there.
That's right. Yeah. We get Kevin Holden, WNCN there in North Carolina at 321 CUE Kevin on X or Twitter, whatever you like to call it. He's joining us on the Mason Crosby Show. We are talking about this upcoming matchup, Carolina Panthers coming to Lambeau Field against the Green Bay Packers. You talked about Ted McMillan, right? And, obviously Packers for the first time, it feels like in the history of the organization, drafted a first-round wide receiver as well. What has Ted McMillan been on this Carolina Panthers? Like, has he overachieved, or is he just kind of being the guy that everyone expected him to be there in Carolina?
I think he's exceeded expectations for the first year, and
Nice.
the expectations are a little different. In other words, if you put Golden and McMillan side by side, I think your skill sets are pretty similar. Here, the difference is Golden doesn't have to come in and lead an offense, right? Or be one of the vocal voices of an offense, because there are so many, LaFleur and Jordan Love and the other receivers on the team. There's so much there that what Golden needs to do in Green Bay is just be a productive part of the offense. Ted McMillan has to bring confidence to the Panthers offense. It's a little different. There's a little higher expectation. And for that, even if the numbers, some might say, okay, they're pretty good, or some might think he should do better. I think the numbers he has brought and the confidence he's brought to the offense, the comfortability that he could give somebody like Bryce Young, I think he's done pretty well. I mean, look, if we're being truthful, what the Panthers need is Greg Olsen to come down out of the broadcast booth and play tight end. His age, they need a security blanket, because it's Dowdle and it's deep threats, and poor Bryce Young or Andy Dalton or Hendon Hooker or whoever it's going to be, under center in a particular play, does not have that 8 to 10 or can we get like a 2012 Jermichael Finley, like a 2011 Jermichael Finley out there? He would be a superstar for this Panthers team.
For sure.
Kevin Holden joining us here on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Want to switch gears with you real quick, Kevin. Give us the update on Con Knippel, and is Pat Connaughton going to make it through the whole season with the Hornets, or are they going to release him at some point? It seems like he's kind of nearing the end of his NBA usability, but Con Knippel looks like he's played pretty well so far.
Yeah, Con is. And of course, you have interest all throughout the state, because Con played his college ball near us here at Duke, and so a lot of fans have sort of followed that to Charlotte. And I just wanted a quick detour on this. It's interesting to me. So we are in Raleigh, which is about 2.5 hours east of Charlotte, and it's not a guarantee that fans here like the Hornets the way it is in Wisconsin. Everybody likes the Packers and the Bucks and the Brewers. It's not necessarily the case for the Hornets. They're building from scratch outside of the city of Charlotte. So what Con has done has gotten fans in this area, what they call the Triangle, to be more interested in the Hornets, to pay attention to what's going on. But
smart.
Yeah, right. It was a good move all the way around. Plus, he's just a really good player. Con hits threes. He plays good defense. He's helped them move forward. As for Connaughton, I mean, I don't know. I got a soft spot for that dude, right?
We all do, right?
Yeah.
We all love Pat Connaughton. I mean, he was a huge part of the 21 championship team. He's just not serviceable in the NBA anymore.
He needs right now. He is a guy who can help the young guys, the Conkin, Deion Jameses, and so on come along, in the system. So he'll have value on that front. But yeah, it's one like. It reminds me of like the Phillies 3 or 4 years after they were so dominant and won the World Series, and you were watching Ryan Howard and Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins limp around a field, and you're like, you could still see who they were, but it's not who they are. It's a little bit sad, but I don't know. I'm kind of happy that Pat's at least in the same state where I am again. It's kind of fun.
For sure. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for jumping on Eye on the Enemy. I have a feeling we will be reaching out to you whenever there's even if there's not something to talk about. We're just gonna reach out to you from time to time and just like get that corkscrew in that noggin and see what falls out. Like, what do you got on your mind, right?
Kevin always like he always has two things, right? Like we have so much in common, right? Kevin did Telemundo broadcasts for the Milwaukee Brewers. I got a C in college Spanish. I also like we love wearing
Tommy
all these different crazy awesome hats, and he always had a cool hat, a cool jersey whenever he's on. And I can't help but notice, like, you're wearing the Carolina Mudcats jersey, which, like, that's going to go up in the rafters now and, like, put it in the Hall of Fame. It's all over there. Brewers now moving that to the Wilson Warbirds. Where are you in, like, range of Wilson? And is the community pumped about that still over there, Kevin?
Well, the Mudcats were the closest team to us. Zebulon was 25 minutes away from here. And Wilson is another 20 or 25 minutes. So it's going to be a little bit of a drive. I don't know. I mean, I think the community will support the Warbirds, but the Mudcats are iconic, man.
I know.
I had this hat when I was in my 20s, this being one season watching the Mudcats and being a part of what was going on with that team was a ton of fun. Plus, and I know we're not wanting to talk a ton of Brewers here, but they had a lot of good prospects. Jesus Mate is a guy you're going to see pretty soon. And we did a Jesus Mate interview in Spanish here, and everybody was floored, right? They're like, wait, you speak Spanish? So that's
I love that.
All right. With that said, Kevin, let's admit to everybody that I remember when you first got the job with Telemundo, and you were like, my Spanish is good, but I'm not sure it's like fluent baseball good to carry a broadcast.
Just start yelling and just lean into the words that you know really well.
Were you on with Raul or Andy at the time?
It was me. It was me and Hector Molina for TV, and then Andy was doing radio. But we had a moment. Actually, this is funny. Another crossover in history. We had a moment involving a Mason Crosby field goal that went viral. That was me and Epi Guerrero, and it was a preseason game.
That's right.
Mason, you kicked a field goal. I don't think it was in Pittsburgh to make it 3-0 in the first quarter of a preseason game. And we held that goal call for like 27 seconds.
Love it. Oh, that's so good.
In a preseason game.
Go!
Dan Patrick went on the radio the next day and just railed on us. He said, "This is it. Football should never be broadcast in Spanish again. This is a preseason game. Why are you bringing this much energy to it?" We loved it. We had a great time.
I love that. Really appreciate you, Kevin. It was awesome catching up. We'll have to do it again sometime. Men's, in NCAA basketball starting up. I know, Duke looks like they're high in the rankings. North Carolina, kind of capping it off top 25. So y'all are looking to have another fun year there in the Carolinas with your teams. And we'll reach back out to you soon. Appreciate you, Kevin.
And correct me if I'm wrong. And Mason, I know this is very near and dear to your heart. I believe the Bucks and the Hornets are in the same group for the NBA Cup.
NBA Cup, yes.
And that is Mason's favorite thing.
I love the NBA Cup.
I should have checked before I said that out
we'll
loud.
do that whole interview in Spanish just for all the the international flair.
That would be awesome. Yeah, right.
Tremendous.
Well, here for you guys anytime. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You name it, I'll be here.
Awesome. Right. Kevin, thank you so much. Kevin Holden, our best friend in North Carolina, WNCN. Was at CBS 58 here in Milwaukee for 100 years. Follow him on Twitter at 321Q Kevin, CUE, like get Kevin ready, Q Kevin. Because, that's the only way he knows how to go out. He's a TV guy. So he doesn't know when to go on unless somebody gives him the 3-2-1 countdown.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, that's how the TV guys roll. Much more coming up. We got Business of Ethics, 5 for 5, which Tommy tried to explain to me on Wednesday, and I still don't understand. But I definitely understand the NCAA delaying by 3 weeks their gambling. We'll see if that is a temporary delay or if that the full kibosh gets put on that worst idea of all time. Welcome to the NCAA. Business ethics coming up next. And then, of course, we'll wrap things up with Mason's favorite candy during Mason's extra points to end the show. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Take the
It's Friday.
Let's go.
On Friday.
It is Friday. You know, I realized as I was playing this song, we should have been playing Halloween music this whole time, right? Like the Monster Mash. Everybody plays that one.
We should have had that.
Are you
yes.
into that, or are you into all the music and all the?
See, I like Halloween. Halloween is not Molly's thing, so.
So what's up with that? Like, how's it not her thing? It's so fun.
I don't know. She's just never been like deep into it. So she passed on the torch. She just said, if you want to do all the Halloween stuff,
then it's on you.
It's on me.
And here you are. And you're doing it.
She likes fall. She likes
All right.
autumn, but she's just not a Halloween fan.
We got to get back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the 1 o'clock hour. So if there's no candy, what are you going to give out?
So here's the thing is like where we live, like the neighborhood behind us is like the trick or treat neighborhood.
Okay.
Like I've gotten candy the last 2 years, bought, the bags and done it, put it out. Nobody comes by our house. So it's actually a good thing. But over the year, like, it's like I buy all that candy and then it's just in the cupboard.
Just sits there.
Like kids start eating it. They're taking it and sneaking it to school. And all of a sudden we're having like crazy behavioral issues, like just candy highs all over the place.
Tommy, you ever get on a sugar high?
It's like a bender.
I'm going to be honest with you. If we're in the trust tree here.
Sure.
Not really the Halloween guy either. I'm in all the garb right now, but that was because like there was rumblings, people were dressing up, and I didn't want to be the guy that didn't dress up. Everyone did kind of dress up here.
Nice.
But personally, to me, like I was the kid from age 6 to 13 who just had football pads chilling in their house. So I just wore like a jersey.
You're always a football player.
Like I just do not want to put any effort or creativity into costumes at all. This is the most creative you will get out of me in Halloween garb.
As a kid, we always like had to make our own costumes.
Yeah,
like,
same.
It was like my parents were just like, we're not going to spend $100 on.
No, my mom made my costumes with.
Exactly.
I remember
I would always be like a pirate, and I'd like I'd do something. Or I'd be like a ghoul, and I'd cut a shirt up and like put fake blood on.
I had a homemade Batman costume that I loved, and there's a picture of it somewhere. But it's like a gray T-shirt, and like and we cut out the Batman thing in yellow and a black hood, and there you go, like that.
Batman.
Yeah, make it happen. I like the creativity of that. I just like you go into these shops and it's like, man,
no, it's
like
it's
you
nuts.
get this whole thing and it's $150 like once you step out the door, and it's wild.
I will shout out. I don't know if Mrs. Thunder loves Halloween, but she loves the creativity. Like she will go to 7 different Goodwills to put together like a professional looking costume for people, and she'll do it for like friends' kids too. Like anybody who needs help, she will do it. So she's awesome with that. Speaking of Halloween, let's
business ethics.
There we go.
There it is.
Yes. The NCAA athletes and athletic staff were supposed to be allowed to start gambling on pro sports starting tomorrow. It's been backed up 3 weeks. And Tommy and I touched on this a little bit on Wednesday, but obviously we tabled like the whole thing because Mason, we want to talk about it with you.
Yeah.
But it's like I can't imagine like Arch Manning, who plays at Texas, calling his good buddy Matthew Golden on a Thursday just to check in. Hey, bro, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, bro. How are you? Oh, by the way, hey, what's it like playing with Micah Parsons? Oh, he's amazing, but like, he's a little banged up. I don't think he's gonna play this Sunday. Oh, does anybody know about that yet? No. We're just chilling, like he's going through practice, but like, but between me and you, like as bros, like it doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
Arch Manning then puts $200,000 on the Packers opponent because Micah Parsons isn't playing. Obviously, that's a weird example with the Mannings and whatever.
No, but I get what you're saying.
But college athletes, they're 1 year apart. Like the guys who are in the pros versus who's still in college. And that's at every D1, D2, D3, every sport. Like it's all available to gamble on.
Yeah, with all this stuff coming down with these NBA players and all of that. Like, so now we're going to just say, oh, we're going to allow this to happen. But you have to still, do it in good faith and, no collusion.
Love
and like
good faith.
with on it. Yeah. So now it's like, we're going to expect all these people to not have those conversations, not use, insider information in their gambling, stuff. And it's like, what's the next step? Now you're going to get these college kids and like rounded up in like all this trouble. They're going to, Okay, yeah. In these situations, no bad people ever step into that space and say like, "Hey, we'll give you, we'll pay you $100,000 if you kind of work this system and you give us information from some of your buddies on NFL teams or on NBA teams." Like it just is like opening the door for more and more of these big time arrests or situations where guys and girls are going to get wrapped up in just horrible gambling situations.
There's no way it's okay, right?
I just can't see it being anything but a negative.
414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talking text line. 414-677-1250. I think one of the straws that's breaking the camel's back, it's not broken yet, is when Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, he wrote a letter to the NCAA saying this is stupid because with all due respect, no due respect to the NCAA, the SEC runs things.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yeah, that's what I feel about with the NCAA. And 5 for 5, Mason, have you familiar with this term?
No. Run it down for me.
So, it's 5 cheeseburgers for $5 at George Webb.
So what it is,
deal.
So Mason, when you are a freshman, let's go back to 2007, right? Or 2000, wherever, 2004, wherever you were.
Yeah, I was a freshman at Colorado.
Okay. So before that, you were a senior in high school. How many years were you expecting to play college football?
Yeah, you had 4 or 5, right?
Well,
depending on
how many years can you actually play, though?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
So they want that rule changed to 5 now. And that's why they call it 5 for 5. There's no other 5 in there, but they want the rule changed to 5 years of eligibility, regardless of your red shirt. If there is including the red shirt, then it's probably 6 years technically you can be involved in the NCAA. And this is now a rule that they are saying will not happen this year or next year, but it is now on the table for the following year that they want NCAA eligibility to be moved to 5 years as well. And I think that them prioritizing, let's make sure they can gamble on pro sports before, hey, if they need 5 years to graduate college, we will give that to them, is absolutely insane.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
Like, that's what I feel about all of this happening in the college landscape. Your thoughts on if 5 years was the eligibility window?
My initial thought is like, okay, like, yeah, give them 5 years. Like, what does it matter? Like, clean it up a little bit. Just especially with all the money influx and all those things. If there are student athletes that can go to college, maybe still trying to work towards a degree, and they get to play a little longer, because not everybody is going to be a professional athlete. They're not going to move from college into whatever I guess we call them professionals now, but you're not going to move to that next step. So if you get 5 years, you make a little bit of money, you can maybe get your degree. Sure, I'm fine with that. But then it's like now in association with the gambling and all those things, like, I mean, there is just so much wrong with all of this.
And instead, the NCAA says,
at no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
But why do they so the NCAA doesn't like to, they don't want to expand to 5 years for eligibility?
It's something that I think a lot of mid-level college programs, I believe it was started with Arkansas trying to be on the wave of this. So it's like this, could this team catch fire in a bottle one year and be competitive? Or are they typically like your 7-5, 8-4 teams that are probably trying to just find a window, like, hey, maybe if we can get guys to stay longer and be eligible longer, they'll come and develop at Arkansas, as opposed to
sure, because that's what's happening now. Like Nolan being in high school, they're saying, well, you have to literally be the best of the best to go right to a major D1 school, right? Everyone else is going to go to a mid-level
go to
school.
Toledo for a couple of years.
Yeah, do some, kind of prove yourself, and then you'll go play a year or two at a major school if you've proven it. So,
but then you get to stay at the major for a little bit longer.
So those mid-level,
okay.
those smaller schools are now actually what college football has been for a long time. Yep. Like they're still gonna be college football, and then all the big the major schools are gonna turn into just they're professional leagues now. Like they're paying players, and they're letting these mid-level teams develop the players, and then they're bringing them in and just trying to go and win with the players that they bring in for those couple years.
We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Our studio is powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We've got some World Series to get to. We've got Halloween to get to, and just our final word on a Packers football weekend when we come back. All part of Mason's Extra Points. This is the Mason Crosby Show.
Yes, sir.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis. On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Happy Halloween. Great show today. It's Friday. I love that Halloween's on a Friday. Get to roll in.
It's amazing.
Roll into the weekend. Yeah. And weird. They had a teacher in service day. I guess, they just scheduled that. So kids are off of school today.
Party
just
day.
Running around like crazy.
Candy.
I do have to give my daughter Charlotte a shout out. She had an awesome idea this week. She called it Helpoween. So she sent out an invitation to her friends, put together a little get-together party, and they made blankets for the Children's Hospital to take and deliver that. She is a better person than I am. That is,
Yeah,
she
you
is
say that
amazing.
again. Say that again, Mason.
What a great heart.
That's
Say it again.
insane.
Mason,
Yeah.
say it again.
She's a better person than me.
There you
Yes.
go. Nicely done.
She gets that from her mother, for
Nice.
sure.
Awesome. Nicely done, Charlotte. Mason, Game 6 World Series tonight.
Yeah.
Yamamoto and Gossman. I don't know.
Can Yamamoto go 9 again?
What if he does? How amazing would
What
that
if he
be?
goes 11? What if he goes into extra again?
and he
just does
pitches
the
and he
whole
just
game?
keeps going.
Just
This
keeps going.
never stops.
I have a slight prediction. I don't know if it's a real prediction. If it goes to Game 7, Ohtani will be an opener tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't know that he will be. I don't know that he'll go more than 1 or 2, but because of the way the DH rules work, if he comes in relief, he has to play the field after he's done pitching, which he could play the outfield. But if he's a starter, he can stay as DH. So I think he will actually open Game 7 if that happens.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to get to Game 7?
I don't. I think
Okay.
Toronto takes
You
care of
think
business
Toronto's gonna take
tonight.
it?
Yeah, I'm predicting Toronto to win tonight.
No.
Oh, Canada.
I think Toronto's
our home and
looking
native
good.
land. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting programming note. The Bucks are playing the Sacramento Kings tomorrow at 4. It's a 4 p.m. tip-off in Milwaukee. I could tell you why, but it'll make you really sad.
Okay.
Do you want to know why?
I want to know.
Because the Bucks were planning in case there was a Game 7 in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Great planning.
Yeah. They had to. They didn't want to change the time.
Yeah.
Depending on
makes
what
sense.
happened, they planned for that when the schedule first
Well,
came out.
I'm gonna. Molly knows that game's happening tomorrow, so I'm just gotta know who she's rooting for, though. The Kings are her second
that's right.
team.
The Kings
They're
are her team. Yeah.
Her team in the West. Yeah. So
What? Both of you. What's the one candy you're looking forward to eating this weekend?
gosh.
Mace.
Well, I mean, Again, Reese's
Is it
peanut
still
butter cups
100
are
grand?
always
Yeah.
a thing.
Right. And 100
but
grand, we
100
know.
grand's the only candy I
That's it.
eat on Thanksgiving. That's different than just kind of like I won't eat that any other time other than around Halloween. So yeah, 100 grand is what I'm going to roll with tonight.
Tommy, you got something on your
whenever
list?
I do my dad tax.
Nice.
Milky Ways are my go-to.
Milky Ways.
I love
I
Milky
do
Ways.
love a Milky Way.
They're so underrated and they just hit every time.
That is
So
good. What you
Pat,
got, Mitch?
what am I going? I'm going Nerds Gummy Clusters just because, again, we did some trick-or-treating on last Sunday. We're doing more trick-or-treating tonight, and I didn't get any Nerds Gummy Clusters yet. I did not
Really?
take that as a dad tax. I took, I usually take Twix. Like Twix just stand by.
Twix
It's
are good too.
So
yeah.
solid. I usually take a Twix, so I took a Twix. But I'm going to take a Nerds Gummy Cluster tonight for sure. Packers favored by 13, according to our friends at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Is that the right number, Mason?
I think so. I think 2 touchdowns. If they don't win by 2 touchdowns, then we're just gonna, we feel good if they win, but it's like if they don't win by 2 touchdowns, I think we're gonna say like, they probably underachieved. They should handle this team from Carolina pretty easily here.
414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Ken is in the Falls. Ken wants to jump on and talk some Packers talk before we get out of here for the weekend. Ken, what do you got for us today?
Let's get it kicked off the right way for Halloween.
Cracking the beer.
Heck
Love it.
yeah.
Good for you, Ken. I love that.
Nice.
You got to crack a beer on Halloween.
Absolutely.
Done for the day finally. What the heck?
Yeah,
Mace,
shutting it
You're
down.
gonna like this because I'm getting ready to head to my property because the Bucks are just starting to run there,
Ooh, I love it.
and I'm gonna drill a big one. I got 3 really good ones running around, and one of them is coming home with me this weekend.
Heck
All right, I'll be over for the jerky. Hey,
Well,
Ken,
good
I'll
luck.
be over for
Good luck.
jerky. I'll be over for jerky.
Oh, hey, you know what? I have all that stuff made up. I've got a couple of doughs already that I've
Ooh.
harvested, so they're in the freezer. So all that stuff's ready to go.
All right.
And I'll take care of you guys. Don't worry about that.
Send
because
it
I
over
got
to
a
the
great-
station. I love it.
Yep, it's outstanding. But in terms of the World Series tonight, Toronto, they're going to get to Yamamoto early and often. They're going to win this. I've got ice cold Molson.
Oh, there you go.
In the cooler.
You got to have Molson or Labatt Blue, right? Molson or Labatt Blue. That's the way to go.
Me, I personally like the Molson because when we're up there fishing, it's just my go-to. Other than kokanee, I don't know if you've ever had kokanee, but kokanee is outstanding. It's made in British Columbia, but it's my go-to. Here we go.
Yeah, we're running up against the clock. Your Packers prediction, go.
Packers win 31-3. No problem with this team at all.
Let's go.
All right.
I
love it.
Have a happy Halloween, boys, and everybody out there hunting and fishing. Safe on the waterways and in the Wisconsin woods. Have a good one.
Absolutely,
all right, Ken. Appreciate you. Way to send us into the weekend.
Seriously,
that's how it needed to be.
What a great bet. Like, how fun is that? Like, just to get us fired up for the weekend.
That was perfect. Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. A lot of plans tonight. I'm going to be running around. I think it's like.
So, are you guys going to that neighborhood behind you? Is that where your kids will be mostly?
I think like elementary kids, age kids are going back there. Then I'm taking like Charlotte and like a couple of her friends somewhere else, and Nolan has his buddies.
Nolan's just like,
we're scattered to the wind. We're just going to try to find everybody and wrangle them up by hopefully 9-10 o'clock tonight is the plan.
I love it. And then remember, we mentioned this yesterday, but just want to have it on your radar, Mace. Monday, college hoops. Wisconsin, UWM, UW Green Bay, Marquette, all in action at 7 o'clock Monday night. Like, here it is. It's college hoop season. NBA's already underway. We're still paying attention to our Packers, of course. It's the equinox is
now it's even a bigger. Yeah, this is the double equinox.
Exactly.
Everything's hitting.
Hey, Tommy, have a great weekend, buddy.
You guys have a great weekend.
All right.
All right, Tommy.
He's Tommy Wirtz. He's Mason Crosby. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Happy Halloween. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Stay safe out there.
I was